Right. So now let us see the next concept, that is what the cardinality. So here actually we are going to see the relationships meaning in this lecture. Okay. So that is what the definition is, the numerical attributes of the relationship between two entities actually. So actually attribute entity one will be there, entity two will be there. And we are going to have a set of records in entity one, and entity two also set of records will be there. How these are connected actually. So that is what we are going to explore more on this. So these relationships can have four possible connectivities are given below. So one is one-to-one relationship. Another one is one-to-n relationship. That is what one-to-many relationship, and many-to-one relationship, and many-to-many relationship. So these four things, let us try to understand clearly. Then we will see many things. Almost we can create a ER diagrams for any given requirement actually. Okay. So that is what here we are talking about, the minimum and maximum values of the connectivities we are going to discuss. That is called the cardinality of a relationship. So we will get the more clarity with the examples. First of all, let us try to understand these four actually. So that is what the first one is, one-to-one relationship. So single instance of an entity is associated with a single instance of another entity actually. What does it mean? So you can see here. A person has only one passport and a passport is given to only one person. Is it or not? So that you can observe here. So one person has one passport. Is it or not? So person is one entity, E1. Passport is another entity, E2. So every person have a connection to one passport only. So that is what one-to-one relationship. Is it or not? So no person have two passports. Okay. So that is what actually one-to-one relationship. Okay. Every person one, person two, person three will be there. Passport one, passport two, passport three will be there. So person one passport is this, person two passport is this, person three passport is this one. So that is called actually one-to-one relationship. Okay. Now if you see another one-to-many relationship. So single instance, that is what here single instance one. So here also single instance is associated with more than one instance, but here you will see single instance one-to-one. So that is what you see the example. Customer can place many orders, right? So one customer can place many orders. So that is what customer one is there. So order one, order two, order three. So one customer given three orders. Is it or not? So one customer given, so that is what one-to-many orders. So that is what second customer, if you take, he given order one and order two. So that is what many orders, one to many persons. So that relationship, this kind of relationships calling as a one-to-many actually. Now it's a reverse if you see, many to one actually. See, when you see customer to order, if this is the order, then this is going to become one to many. But if it is order to customer, then this is going to become many to one. That is what the reverse part here. That's it. Nothing is there. So if you are going from the customer to order, then you have to say one to many relationship. If you are saying many to customer, order to customer order, then you can say many to one relationship actually. So that is what more than one instance of an entity is associated with single instance actually. So that is the many students can study in one college. So that is what the example you can see. So student one, student two, student three, these are studying in one college, college number one. And student four, student five, student six, all these are studying in college two. So many students are studying in one college. So that is what actually many to one actually. But if you see reverse, college to students, so you can say one to many relationship. That is what you must be careful actually. Okay. And then next example is many to many relationship. So of course, this you can write down the definition. More than one instance of an entity is associated with more than one instance actually. So what is the best example? You can see student can assign to many projects and project can done by many students. So that is what you can see. So one student can do many projects. One project can be done by many students. So that is what, for example, S1, S2, S3 if I take, project 1, project 2 if I take. So assume that student 1, student 2 doing project number 1. Okay, then student 2 and student 3 is doing by project number 2. Okay, so now you can see and student 1 also can do project number 3 actually. So student 1 doing many projects. So in that way, one student doing many projects and one project done by many students, one to many actually. So this all combination together calling as a M to M, M to N or M to N, that number, that character not important, meaning is important. So student to project is 1 to M, project to student is 1 to M. So these many to 1. Okay, so these two together calling as a many to many relationship. This is what somewhat tricky actually. Don't try to confuse. So here S1 is actually doing two projects. Project 1 is done by 2 students. So from this side 1 to many, from this side many to 1 to many actually. So together we can say many to many relationships. These are the 4 different possible relationships, that is 1 to 1, 1 to many to 1, many to many actually. Basing on this, lot of further discussion, actual insights we are going to see basing on the discussion till now we have actually. So we already seen that different entity types, that is strong entity, weak entity, and we already seen that different types of attributes and a further discussion, and we've seen that relationship and different possible relationships. All together we are going to have many real-time examples, so we are going to analyze actually in the coming lectures actually. Okay, so the actual discussion is in the next coming lectures, basing on the understanding of all these terminologies and concepts till now what we have. Okay.